Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. That's it. Thank you so much for joining. Happy Thursday, everyone. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Thursday so far. So, thank you for joining. I hope all is well with each and one of you. Praise the Lord and thank you, Jesus. So, we're going to get started. So, 2 or 3 months ago, I had a discussion with my sisters and my brother in law in regards to the war in Gaza and Israel and how I had opinions about it. I'm not into war. I don't like war. I understand why war happens. You have to, people in their country have to protect their land, have to protect the people. And yes, will there be casualties in the mix? Absolutely. I get all that. However, with that being said, I don't I condemn the murdering children, beheading babies, raping women, torturing them, taking them hostage. I condemn all that, okay? And I just want to be very clear, and I have been very clear in my previous videos, that I cannot stand the terrorist group Hamas, okay? They should be eliminated. They should be disarmed. They should be wiped out of the face of the earth, okay? Because they're horrible, despicable human beings using their own people as shields to get what they want, and it's despicable. But with that being said, what the Israel government, the Israelis government doing is wrong too. You know what I mean? Both parties are wrong. There's no two wrongs can't make a right. Okay, both parties are wrong. October 7th was a heinous act, and it all could have been prevented. It all can. And I don't trust Prime Minister Bibi. He has his own agenda why he did what he did. Okay. Um, I don't like his government. I don't like what he stands for, what he represents. And that's just my opinion. I particularly do not like him. Not the country, not the Israeli people, because I have nothing against them at all. They're wonderful, blessed people, and they have to do what they have to do, to protect themselves and their family, whatever. But with that being said, I don't like the Israel government, what they're doing, what their stands for, and everything around it. That's what I don't like, and I condemn both of them. So my sister and I and my brother-in-law had a heated discussion that I told them that I'm pro-life. I'm not backing up the Israeli government. I'm not. I don't like what they're doing. I don't like how they operate and how they're trying to, wipe out the Palestinian people, basically. And I even told them, once the war is over, once they have a peace, they're going to ethnically cleanse them. Okay, they're going to remove the Palestinian people out of Gaza Strip so they can benefit for them, so they can build a resort there. I told my sisters and my brother-in-law 2 or 3 months ago. I said, you wait and see. You wait. And they thought I was crazy. They thought that I was just losing my mind, that I was not making any sense, and I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, okay, sure. Everyone had their opinions, and I said, you wait and see. Okay, you wait and see what's going to happen, because that's what I told them 2 or 3 months ago. This is what's going to happen. Okay, once the war is over, which it is, and they made a peace deal. I can show you right now. Gaza peace deal reached hostages to be fled. Excuse me. Okay, so I told them 2 or 3 months ago, before they had the peace deal, that once Trump make a peace deal with them, that the Hamas is not going to disarm themselves. They're still going to have weapons. They're still going to be armed. They're not going to disarm themselves. They're going to release the hostages, which I predicted I was right, because they did. And they're still searching for other people that still been missing or elsewhere. But I told them, my sisters and my brother-in-law, that once they have that peace deal, once all the hostages are returned, once all the people return to the Gaza Strip, they have no home to return to. Okay, 85% of Gaza Strip is gone, is demolished, their homes, they have no home to go to. So where would they go? Where would they go? Obviously, they have to be displaced somewhere, but where? And that's the whole point why they wanted the war to continue, so Gaza Strip can be demolished, can be destroyed. There's nothing there for people, the Palestinian people, to go to. So they're going to be displaced other places, so they can build a beach resort. So then the Israeli government people can just go slide right in to the Gaza land. Isn't that fair? Do you think that's fair? That people, their homeland that they've been born and raised in, is generations after generations after generation of people that lived there for so many decades, now they have to be displaced and moved somewhere else. Egypt, Tel Aviv. Obviously, they're not going to go to Israel because they don't want them there. They don't want the Palestinian people. They don't want them there because they think that they're going to be another terrorist going to attack people there, which is not even their fault. It's the Hamas, the terrorist group that's acting evil and killing innocent people and using their people as bodies, as shields, okay, for their own benefit. So when I told my sisters and my brother-in-law that, and then they were trying to convince me that the Israel government is good, they're doing this for their people, they're trying to protect their people, and I'm like, I'm not so sure about that. And that's what I told them 2 or 3 months ago. I'm not sure about that. And like I said, I understand why war happens, and I get all that, but I feel like with Prime Minister Bibi, he did it for other particular reasons, and he actually said it in his in Israel news. You know what I mean? He said it bluntly why he wanted to do this war, why the whole purpose of it, to ethically cleanse the Palestinian people, to move them out, so then he can just build resorts. With Donald Trump's help and Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. You know what I mean? So everything was all planned and set in motions. And that's what I try to explain to my brother-in-law and my sisters, but they didn't believe me. They thought I was just talking crazy, just talking out of my behind, not making any sense. And I'm like, okay, sure. I'm entitled to my opinion. You're entitled to yours. That's the whole point of having a discussion and having a debate. We hear each other out and we debate about it. Doesn't matter who's right or wrong. But at the end of the day, what I told them, you will see. You will see what's going to happen. And sure enough, after that peace deal, which I just showed you guys, that has been reached, and now, where are the Palestinian people going to go? They have nowhere to go. Where are they going to go? Where? Exactly. Where? Do the Egypt people want them there? I don't know. Probably not. But like I said, where they're going to go? And if they decide to leave, they can't come back. And that's the whole purpose what the Israel government wants them to do. Because if they leave, they can't come back. And I'm like thinking, why they can't come back? That's their land. That's their home. So why they can't come back to a home that they built, even though there's nothing there, but that's still their land. That's their whatever's left of their home. But no. So basically, they're just going to displace them somewhere else. And then once they displace them, then they're not going to return back home. And that's the whole purpose of this. That's what they wanted them to do. Was their whole game plan all along. And that's just my opinion. Okay? And my prediction is right. It's coming to pass. Okay? It is. You wait and see. It's coming to pass. And I want to share to you this video, which I shared a link to my sisters and my brother-in-law of Jared Kushner. Did an interview on March 7th of last year at Howard University, how he basically said that they're going to build a resort, and I'm just paraphrasing, I'm going to let you listen to it in his own words, what he has plans for Gaza Strip. So take a listen to what Jared Kusher had to say about Gaza.
Once Gazans leave Gaza, Netanyahu's never going to let them back in. Maybe, but I'm not sure there's much left of Gaza at this point. In Gaza's waterfront property, it could be very valuable to, if people would focus on kind of building up, livelihoods. You think about all the money that's gone into this tunnel network and into all the munitions. If that would have gone into education or innovation, what could have been done? And so I think that it's a little bit of an unfortunate situation there, but I think from Israel's perspective, I would do my best to move the people out and then clean it up. But I don't think that Israel has stated that they don't want the people to move back there after.
Well, Israel didn't state that, but one of the, not prime minister, but one of the person from Israel have said that. Okay, clearly, and I didn't get his name and I didn't get the footage, so I do apologize for that. But once I do get the clipping of it, I will share it with you guys. I promise you that. And he said it in his own language, and I'm going to find the video and translate it in English for you guys. That they're going to build a resort. They're going to move all the Palestinian people, and you heard it from Jared Kushner that they're going to build a resort and they're going to move. There's nothing there, he said. There's nothing there. And I'm thinking, instead of building a resort, why you don't rebuild their homes? How about that? Why build a resort? Why do that to make money, to make profit of people that died? People that actually died, okay, that were slaughtered, raped, burned, murdered, burned alive. Why not build their homes? Rebuild their homes of the people that the homes that they lost. Why not do that? That's the question that I'm asking. Why build a beach resort? For what? Instead of building the homes for the Palestinian people, that the homes that they lost. But no, you just want to move them, like he said, and displace them somewhere else so you can renovate and build some multi-billion-dollar resorts so people can travel and go there. You best believe you won't see my butt over there. I don't think so. Those souls, those innocent women, children, and men that were killed, buried alive, tortured, and they're just going to build on top of them. You have souls there. Who the hell wants to go to resorts when people were dead? And there's still missing people, okay? Buried, alive, and they end up dead. Like, I just don't understand this. I just don't understand how this is okay and how this is moral to do. And why other news outlet, American media, is not talking about it. But you see what it is? They're not allowing the media to report this, to report what's going on. Because guess what? If they report this, what's been happening in Gaza, the facts, then they will say they're going to ruin your life. They're going to call you a liar, call you a bigot, call you all these names in the sun if American media report this. You don't see CBS talking about this. You don't see Fox News, NBC, ABC, CNN, New York Times. None of them are talking about this. None of them. Because they're afraid. They're afraid that their job is going to be affected by this, their livelihood, their reputation. No one's talking about what's happening in Gaza. No one's not talking about that. They're going to build a resort and move all these people. And I don't understand why they're not talking about it, because people are too afraid to speak up and tell the world what is really happening, what is really going on. Because at the end of the day, and it's sad to say, it's all about a paycheck. It's all about money. It's all about doing what they're told to do. They're controlled by the media. Okay, they're controlled by that because they don't have enough courage or enough balls to actually tell us what really happened. That's why news these days, it's not real. It's not real. People don't, they can't be honest. The news is not honest anymore. People are getting paid to shut up. People are getting paid to not to say anything, to say less instead of more. People are more focused on money than the truth. Isn't that crazy, you guys? People are more focused on money than the truth. People are more focused on not telling us what's really going on, what's really happening. Why do you think there's a lot of independent people out there now? A lot of independent journalists or people are going on their podcasts or doing videos because we can't trust what the American media is telling us because they don't tell us anything. They only tell us what we want to know and what we want to hear. They're not capable of telling the truth because they've already been bought off, period. They have. And that's all they think about is money. And they only think about their careers and not having their careers being tainted, excuse me if I'm saying it right, having their livelihood to be destroyed because they're afraid of that. They don't want their life to be ruined because if they're speaking the truth. And that's all you're doing. That's all you have to do is speak the truth, but they won't allow that at all. They just want you to be hush, hush, quiet, not say not a single word, not a single anything. Just believe their narratives. Well, I don't. And just like I predicted 2 or 3 months ago before the peace deal, what was going to happen, it's coming to pass. It is. And the one person who actually said it too was Candace Owens. She said it. Now Donald Trump is got his what is it, Nobel Peace Prize or whatever because he stopped the war. He made a peace deal. But at the same time, in my opinion, yeah, but what peace? The Hamas didn't disarm themselves. They still have under network tunnels that they have that they're doing. They're not going to disarm themselves. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like it's over yet. I pray it is, but it's not. A resort is going to be built. It's probably on its way, like not in progress, but it's on the works. That's what they're going to do. That's what they've been planning on doing this whole entire time. To remove the Palestinian people, to remove them, to wipe them out, ethnically cleanse them, and to rebuild. Instead of rebuilding homes that the Palestinian people lost, they're going to rebuild beach resorts. So tourists and other people can just come over there and just enjoy the sunset and enjoy the beach when so many souls are there. That's crazy. I wouldn't even be near them. But I'm going to let you listen to Candace Owens' words, what she had to say. And I have to say, it's very poetic. Um, People say that she lost her mind. She's crazy for saying that. That if people do go there once the resort is built and when it is completed, that their children, or their children are going to be cursed. And when she said that, people thought that Candace Owens lost her mind. And I have to say she did not lose her mind because I agree with her 100%. I agree. Because how can you or anyone, once that resort is completed, once they build that resort, how can you actually go there and enjoy yourself at a resort when you knew, everyone knew what happened on October 7th, that innocent women and babies were being slaughtered, killed, raped, burned alive, beheaded? How can you lay on your back with a beach chair and just look at the ocean while there's many souls around? How can you? I would feel ashamed and embarrassed if that was me, if I went there. Like I wouldn't even look at myself in the mirror if I would just went, not knowing what I know. You get what I'm saying? That's why I would tell my nieces, my children one day, my grandchildren, don't even go there. It's not even worth it. Go to another beach resort. Go to another country. The Palestinians, the Gaza is for the Palestinians only, period. That's it. It should not be for anyone else, in my opinion. It should not be for anyone else. It should just be left alone for the Palestinian. Because Gaza Strip is for the Palestinian. But it's not gonna happen that way. And I hope my brother-in-law and my sisters can see that what's actually really happening because um, they're supporting Bibi. I'm not. I do not like him. He looks totally evil in my eyes. He has no soul. Just looking at him, he has no soul, no conscience. He's a very very evil man, and he definitely needs prayer. With that being said, I'm criticizing the Israel government, this Israeli government, not the Israeli people, not the at all. Because I have nothing against the Israel people because they're wonderful people, and yeah, I don't have any problems with them at all. I don't have any problems with Jewish people at all. I have a problem with the Israel government and what they've been doing and what they stand for because they're standing for peace. They say they're standing for the people when they're not. It's all about murder, slaughter, killing, ethnically cleansing, the Palestinian people instead of like coming together. October 7th shouldn't have happened. It could have been preventable, but Bibi had a different agenda, a different plan, and his plan is coming to pass because that's what he wanted all along, to get rid of the Palestinian people so he can take their land. That's what he wanted this whole time. He even made it perfectly clear in one of his interviews. He said it, and he's not hiding it, and he's not denying it, okay? And you can check out that footage, and if you can't find it, I will definitely find it and put it in my link, okay? That he wanted to get rid of the Palestinian people, point blank, period. His words, not mine. And I will definitely put in the link for you guys to check it out and check out what Candace Owens had to say in her own words about the Israel government.
Trump wants a Nobel Peace Prize, by the way, for the planned ethnic cleansing so that they could profit on the land and turn it into a beach town. So let me say this. This is our never again, okay? This is a Holocaust. A Holocaust just happened. A real Holocaust just happened. We will never forget this. You need to tell your children what happened in Gaza. You need to tell them exactly who did it, exactly whose families were involved in this. And when you hear in the future somebody tell you, like, we're going to Gaza Beach for a vacation, you need to look at them like they are the absolute vermin of our society, because they are. They are. Their children will be cursed, okay? If you go and you play in the sand where you know that your forefathers planned to mass murder children, you will be cursed. Every person who steps foot on that, every family that is set to inherit what they did, they will be cursed. Your children's children will be cursed. Gaza belongs to nobody but the Palestinians. So when you begin to move the Israelis in there, and when the Trump Hotel gets built on there, I caution the rest of the world to stay far away from that cursed land, because something is coming. You can't commit that much evil in broad daylight and not think it's going to come back to haunt you.
Now, is she lying? Is she out of her mind? Is she crazy for saying that? I have to say no, she's not crazy, because I absolutely agree with her. I absolutely agree with her. There's no way I would set foot there, because that place is cursed. I'm telling you, it is. And she's not wrong. Is she wrong for saying that? A lot of people saying that she's wrong for saying that. How dare she say that people's children is going to be cursed? But she's not wrong, you guys. She's really not, because what they're doing is wrong. That's not their land. They're taking the Israeli people and moving it to Gaza Strip. That's not their land to do that. That's the Palestinian land, as Candace Owens mentioned. So how can anyone, once Trump Tower Resort gets built, how can anyone just go there and then, just like she said, lay your feet on the sand, play with the sand, have your kids play with the sand, have you just enjoy the resort, not knowing what happened on October 7th? That innocent women and children were being slaughtered and killed and buried alive, and going underneath the rubble with the tanks and everything, being bombed. How can anyone be okay with that? That's what Candace Owens is saying. Like, how can you be okay? And I believe that 100%. You have souls in that area, okay? Many souls. And you think that none of them are going to be cursed? You don't think something's going to happen? I believe that 100%, okay? Maybe some of you may not. You thinking that Candace Owens is crazy out of her mind, or including me. But let me tell you something. Something is going to happen. You wait and see. I told my sisters this and my brother-in-law. They didn't believe me. I predicted it, and look what happened. It came to pass. Gaza Strip is gone. 85% of it. The Palestinian people, they have no home to go to. So what they're going to do? They're going to be displaced. The Israelis, they're going to move in. That's what Bibi, that was his whole plan all along. You see, I'm telling you, things will never be the same again, you guys. Just listen to me loud and clear. Something is going to happen once that resort is built and finished, and people are going to start going over there, vacation over there. You see, that's one thing. You cannot mess with people's souls. Okay? Don't mess with people's souls. You won't see me there. I will stay far, far away from there. And that's what I'm going to say about that. May Trump enjoy his Nobel Prize. He did a good job, I guess, ending the the peace between them. Yeah, may God have mercy on his soul and everyone else's soul that goes over there in the Gaza Strip to the beach resort. And again, that's all I'm going to say about that. Moving on, you guys. Diddy. Yes, I know. I told you guys that I wouldn't speak about Diddy. I wouldn't even talk about Diddy anymore because with the judge ruling and his sentencing. But I've been hearing talks, you guys, that President Trump may pardon Diddy. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I just talked about this a few months ago that it's not going to happen. I believe it's not going to happen. I don't believe President Trump is going to pardon Diddy, but it seemed like there's talks that his lawyer and President Trump are trying to negotiate to see if he can be pardoned because it seemed like once Diddy gets out of prison, he has 5 years of probation. Okay, like the government got him. Okay, there's no way out of this. The government has him, and Diddy don't want that. He don't want the 5 years because then he has to report to his probation officer. He cannot do drugs. He cannot hang out with any criminals. He has to do drug tests. Basically, he is on watch guard for 5 years. So he can't do none of the stuff that he used to do when he was free. So he doesn't want that. And this is Diddy, though. Can Diddy really follow the rules? No. So apparently, he was sentenced for 50 months with credit for time already served. The rapper originally arrested in September 2024, staying behind bars at Metropolitan Detention Center throughout his trial, which he did. And upon his release, Diddy, 55 years old, will spend 5 years under supervision release. During this time, he is expected to comply with standards terms, which includes not committing another crime, because if he does, he go back to jail. Not posing a controlled substance. Yeah, no pink cocaine, no alcohol, no ecstasy, no Molly. What else drugs I can think of? Cocaine? I said pink cocaine. I don't know. I don't know any new drugs out there. Fentanyl? I don't know. I don't know what people are taking these days because I don't do drugs. So I don't know. What else? Participating in occasional drug tests he's going to be doing. However, there are a few additional special conditions for the disgraced music mogul. Okay. Diddy has to do, it's required for him to participate in outpatient program centered around drug and alcohol abuse. Further, Diddy will be required to participate in outpatient mental health treatment program and continue to take any prescription medication unless directed by a healthcare provider. See, all this Diddy doesn't like. So just imagine if President Trump entertained, just say, I'm playing devil advocate here, you guys. Let's say he entertains of pardoning Diddy. That's me. Then all this 5-year probation, it'd be wiped out. He don't have to do none of that stuff. I'm hoping and praying, you guys, that President Trump don't pardon him. Please, don't do it. Don't do it. He don't like you. He made it very clear. He don't like you, okay? And let's say if President Trump do pardon him, you don't think President Trump wants to get something out of it? Of course he does. Maybe he might make Diddy a mega, or have Diddy be a Republican. I don't know. President Trump is not going to do anything for free. Obviously, he's going to do. He wants something in return if he's going to do this huge favor for this criminal. But I hope and pray that President Trump don't entertain this. Don't even pardon Diddy. I think Diddy needs to do the time. Okay, he already served a year. Let him serve 2 more years, and then with good behavior, he'd be released. Then let him do the five years. He needs this. Okay, I know a lot of people say set him free. He needs to be let free. He doesn't deserve to be in prison. He doesn't. Yes, he does. Okay, he has done some terrible things for the last decade, and he never got caught, and never catch up to him until now. Okay, and I believe that he should serve another 2 or 3 years in prison. Once he's released, he should be controlled by the government for 5 years. He should, because he needs to learn. How you expect this man to learn and to grow and to be the best version of himself if he's capable of, if President Trump is just going to pardon him? He's not going to learn anything. He's going to continue to do the things that he's been doing for the last decade. And he hasn't learned, obviously, because before he got arrested last year, he was doing a freak off in a hotel in New York. So that tells you guys that he has not changed. Okay? He has not changed. This needs to happen in order for this man to reform, to change. Because if you're just going to slap a wrist and just pardon him, he's not going to learn anything. He's going to keep doing it. I guarantee you guys, he will continue doing this. He needs to learn. It's like a child. When they misbehave, they have to be punished so they can learn not to do it again. So why is it can't be the same thing for him? Why everyone's saying, "Oh, let him go, free him, free him"? He learned his lesson. Bullshit. Excuse my French. BS. He has not learned his lesson, in my opinion. He has not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. He has not. Because if he did, he wouldn't do half the things that he has done. And he got away with. Okay? I believe, in my honest opinion, he has not. However, can people change? Absolutely. As long as they want to change, as long as they want to do the work and learn their valuable lesson, then yes, people can change. But I feel like he's not ready yet, in my opinion. And who am I? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm just giving you my perspective and my point of view and my observations of the things that he has done in the past. I feel like a year or two is not enough for a reformed man like him. He needs to be reformed. He really does. Because Satan took over his soul. The things that he has done, the drugs, the alcohol, the money, the fame, all that stuff got in his head. And he was possessed by the devil. I'm sorry, he was. He was the devil. He was doing awful things to people. Terrible things to people. Mistreated people. Okay? He needs to be set an example. He needs to deal with the consequences of his action. There needs to be some accountability. Okay? Now, once he's released from prison, let him continue the 5-year probation. Let the government have a hold on him because he needs to know that he can't do the things that he used to do. And by this, it will shape him to not to do criminal things. Because if you take away all this, then that just shows him and everyone else, oh, I can do X, Y, and Z, and I know I'm going to be pardoned. I know I can just get away with it. No, it doesn't work that way, people. It doesn't work that way. So what I'm saying is, I don't think President Trump is going to pardon Diddy. I don't think so. That's just what I believe. I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, I will come up here and say, I was wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I was dead wrong, and President Trump actually pardoned Sean Diddy Combs. But I'm telling you, I'm predicting this, okay, that President Trump will not pardon Sean Diddy Combs. He's not. So let the man do his time. The time served, he'd be released, and he will have 5-year probation, which he needs. He needs to go to outpatient treatment program. He needs to take drug tests. He needs to stay away from criminals. He needs to be clean. He needs some type of substance so he doesn't have to do this again, okay? Because if he does anything criminal, he's going back to prison, okay? He has a record. There's nothing that he can say or do. He has a record for life. That's like you can't take away from that. Yes, he's doing an appeal against the judge who sentenced him, saying that, I don't know, he's saying that the judge, basically I'm paraphrasing, the judge didn't do his job. The judge had something against Diddy. That's why he's not. That's why he's sentencing Diddy. I'm like, boy, bye. Really? You're gonna use that tactic, you and your lawyer? That's fine. They can. That's their right. That's their right to appeal. But the appeal's not gonna go anywhere. That's just my opinion. It's not gonna go anywhere. You're just gonna waste money, time. It's not gonna go anywhere. That appeal is going to be rejected. That's just my opinion. You'll see. Don't take my word for it. Again, what do I know? I just report what I report. That's all. But anyway. Let's see if that appeal will work. I doubt it. Also, I hope and pray that Trump don't pardon him. He doesn't need to be pardoned. He needs to be where he needs to be. And at the end of the day, you guys, it's in God's hands. God allowed all this, okay? God is in control. God gives, God takes, okay? So it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. It matters what the Lord says, okay? And I'm telling you, God is in control. God will know, or he will make it happen if Diddy's going to be pardoned or if he's going to serve time and he's going to have 5 years probation. I'm praying that he gets his 5-year probation, then he gets his life together, he gets cleaned up, he do good in his community. You know what I mean? He'd be reformed and he would do good, but he needs to be held accountability. And by Trump pardoning him, that's not holding accountability because that just shows that he can just do whatever he wants if he gets pardoned. You know what I mean? No one can't watch him. He can't have accountability. He's going to use up drugs again. He's going to do all this crazy, shady stuff. You think that once Donald Trump pardons him, you think he's going to change? You think he's going to go back being Mr. Nice Guy? Yeah, right. I don't think so. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't think so. But by having this in place, it will put him in order, meaning that he can't do anything wrong. He can't contact his victims. He can't reach out to people. He can't do all of that. All this stuff will be in place that Diddy has to basically do the right thing. Stay out of trouble. Take your drug tests. Do your programs. Do community service. Don't engage in other criminal activities. Don't engage in hanging out with people that are criminals. Because if you do, you go back to jail or prison. Okay? He doesn't want anyone to watch him. That's the problem. He don't want that. He likes right now when if all this stays in place, he loses control. Because now the government is controlling him. What to say, not what to say, but what to do, where to go. Because when you're in probation, you can't go to a lot of places. You have to ask permission, basically. And Diddy don't like that. Can you imagine Sean Diddy Combs asking his probation officer permission to go to Miami, to go to Paris, to go to New York? He needs permission for all that. So just imagine him doing that. He don't want that. That's the thing. He likes to be in control. So just imagine that control is taken away from him. And that's what's freaking him out. Because once he's out of prison, he's out. But is he really out? Because then he has 5 years of probation officer under him for 5 years. Okay? He can't go anywhere. He can't do certain things. He's going to need permission for that. And that's what he cannot stand. He can't stand that. So that's why he's trying to have President Trump to pardon him. Because when President Trump pardoned him, then everything's done. Once you pardon, you pardon. You can walk, go wherever you please without asking anyone permission. And that's what Sean Diddy Combs want. But with a price, though. Because obviously President Trump is going to want something in return. He just don't do things just to do it. Okay? This is President Trump. He's a very smart, strategic businessman. Okay? He's always going to want something in return. The question is, will Sean Diddy Combs comply to his terms? So either way, he still lose, okay? 5 years of probation or under President Trump's thumb. Think about that. And everything's going to be in writing, too. President Trump ain't stupid, okay? He ain't dumb. He's going to probably have it in writing. So his lawyers and him probably negotiating, going back and forth, trying to figure out what they're going to do, what he's going to do. Either way, I hope and pray that President Trump don't even pardon him. God is in control of this. God will make everything plan out how it needs to be. So I'm not worried, but I can still voice my opinion. And my opinion is that President Trump is not going to pardon Diddy. And Diddy is going to have his 5-year probation, which it should be. Everything is set in place where it should be. Plain and simple. Okay? Some people may not like what I have to say about that, but it's the truth. People need to be held accountable. You can't just do whatever you want, abuse your power, and do all these crazy things to people and then expect to get away with it. Expect that it's okay. No, it's not. We all need to take accountability. It's just not right, okay? Like I said, I hope he become a changed man, become a good person. He will learn from this because now he has a record. He has a criminal record now. So if he would have just done the things that he done, just act normal, and behave himself and be nice and kind to people and not threaten them, none of this would have happened. See, none of this would have happened. Now he's under the government's thumb for 5 years. That's a long time. So even though he's not really serving that much time, he still had to deal with the government for 5 years. 5 years. That's even worse. That's even worse. 5 years. I got to tell people where I'm going, what I'm doing, check in, check out, piss test, drug test, treatment. That's even worse than prison. I might as well be in prison. Damn. Anyway, that's all I have to say, you guys. Let me know your thoughts and your comments of everything that I just discussed about the war, about the ethnic cleansing, about Diddy, and I promise you, this will be the last time I'll talk about Diddy. Okay, let it run its course. It's in God's hands what God is going to do. And that's all I'm going to say about that, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. That's it on my YouTube channel. I really appreciate each and one of you. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know personally what you think. You're not going to hurt my feelings because I do have thick skin. Maybe. No, I do. I do have thick skin. So let me know what you think about all of this that I just discussed with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love each and one of you. Take care. God bless. And I will see you guys on Friday.